Good evening. This is Reverend Dr. Weta Lee coming to you again from Wow, What a Ride. My friends, as I come to you this evening, I'm wanting to share with you why we should never give up. Even when we're in the most remote places and it seems as though we're the only ones there, that we don't have any friends, never feel that you are alone when God is with you. This experience that I'm going to share with you from today is an experience that occurred when I was pastoring in Sherman, Texas. It's a town 75 miles north of Dallas, and I was there serving in the Sherman-McKinney district. I was very excited about the opportunity to pastor. This is my first pastorate, and I'd always wanted to be engaged in the community. Well, in full-time ministry, I had nothing else to do except to serve in ministry. So I had been in the community since 1993, and I was invited just to participate in the community. So because I was full-time in ministry and I had few members and I had two churches, Sherman and Denison, I decided I should get engaged in the community. And I did. I was involved in everything. And around Christmas, I decided that I wanted to give a party for all of those people who had been so kind to me and allowed me to serve on the various committees. I had known this family, Bill and Joan Douglas. They're in Sherman, Texas. They own the Douglas Distributing Company, and they had become my friends. As a matter of fact, I was serving with them on the hospital board, on the auxiliary board of Wilson and Jones Hospital there in Sherman, Texas, because I was an all-around community volunteer. I was in the school system, I was doing a community revitalization project there, and I was truly engaged in ministry. We were few in numbers, but I was so encouraged that I just put myself out there in the community. And that's what we have to do. We have to trust God with all of our hearts and not lean to our own understanding. Even when the places are small and it looks like there's no ministry to do, it can be a very fruitful place. And it was indeed for me. So I met the Douglases, who were members of the Grace United Methodist Church in Sherman. During the Christmas holiday, I fixed dinner. I fixed dinner for all of the people that I had been volunteering and working with. I invited over 50 people, 30 plus showed up. I had prepared all of the food because I just wanted to do this to thank the people for being so very kind to me. And Bill and Joan came that night. I had like turkey and dressing. I had broccoli and rice casserole. I had sweet potato casserole, a German chocolate cake, sweet potato pies, pecan pies, a pound cake. I had just really worked some kind of a broccoli salad. I just remember it because it comes vividly back to me. So I did all of the cooking. I invited them to come and share the meal. Of all those persons who came to visit, at the end of the meal, Bill said to Joan, "I'd like to take a plate home with me." Well, of course, he was welcome. There was food left over because I had prepared for 50. And then I got this call the next week from Joan Douglas. She said, "Weta, Bill and I want to do something special for you. Would you meet me at my house?" I said, "Of course. Give me your address." So, of course, I wasn't familiar with that part of Sherman, even though it's a small town. I MapQuested my way to their house. And upon arrival, she was preparing a dish to take back to her workplace, the Douglas Distributing Company, for a company luncheon. And she said, "Weta, Bill and I want to give you $500 to spread Christmas cheer to people in the community. And then we want to pay you $500 for spending it for us." And of course, I was so stunned, I just kept talking. And she stopped me. She said, "Weta, did you hear what I said?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Well, will you do that?" I said, "Yes, I will." Fast forward now to the year 2021. My book is published. I go to Sherman, Texas. I want to share a copy of my book with Bill and Joan. Joan's health was not well. She'd had a stroke. So when I arrived at the house, Bill didn't recognize me. I knocked on the door and I said, Bill, I came by because I've written this book. Wow, what a ride. And as he answered the door, I was signing my name to say, thank you all for your support of me when I was in Sherman, Texas. And when he answered the door, he didn't recognize me. I said, Bill, I'm Weta Lee. He says, Weta. I said, you know, I used to pastor here in Sherman. He said, Weta, I remember you. And I said, I've written this book. I was just autographing it for you and Joan because I want you to have a copy to say thank you for supporting me so many years ago. Bill's response was, Weta, what are you doing these days? And I said, I'm retired. And I was about to give him the book, and he says, Weta, how much is it? And I told him the cost. He said, Weta, I know retired pastors can use money. And in lieu of me giving him the book, he purchased his copy for $100. I'm going to tell you, we used to sing a song in my Baptist roots that said, you can't beat God giving, no matter how you try. I don't know who this message is going to speak to this day, this week, as you listen to it. But I want you to know you can never beat God giving. I said, I wanted to speak with Joan. He says, she's ill, Weta. I'll tell her that you came by. And later that night, he called me and he said, we've been reading the book, and Weta, whenever you're in this area again, please stop by to see Joan. I haven't made that trip back there, but I pray that my living will not be in vain in the Lord. Throughout my journey, this is why it was, wow, what a ride. I've tried to touch the lives of people. I've tried to spread joy. I've given my infectious laughter to so many. I have walked with and prayed with and knelt beside so many in hospital rooms, at the grave sites, just to say, I love you. And you know, when I was a young mother, one of the musicians used to teach the children a song that says, love is something that you give it away. If it's just like a magic penny, she said, if you hold on tight, you won't have any, but if you lend it and spend it, you'll have so many, they'll just roll all over the place. Love ye one another, Christ says, as I have loved you. And my friends, I pray that this video, this small presentation will bless somebody's life, someone who may be going through. Know this, that God is love. And if you do not have love, 1 John 4:8, you do not have God, because God is love. I thank you. I have been blessed on this journey called life. My life has been touched in so many ways. As I sat on the auxiliary board at Wilson and Jones Hospital, Joan and Bill were right there. And I would say to them, I don't have any money to give to the board. I make such a small salary. And Bill said these words to me, Weta, you're not always there because you have money to give. Sometimes you're there because of the influence that you have. I pray that my influence has blessed someone, and this is what I want to say to you. God is love, and love doesn't look for one another's faults. It looks for the good. And if you give that love away, you will certainly end up having so much more. May you be blessed this evening. This is to tell you it is possible. And I tell you that because I've been on this ride And wow, what a ride. Until the next time, I invite you to go and subscribe to my YouTube page. I would love to have you always there so that you may always receive the videos the moment they pop up. Because I've been doing some new things this week. I have been preparing some of the food that I couldn't eat it all. I couldn't eat all of the squash that grew. I couldn't eat all the cucumbers, so I've made pickles. And perhaps you may be one of those persons who gets a jar. It's just my love that I'm passing on. May God bless you, and may you be a blessing.